So NaLyssa Smith just got traded to the Las Vegas Aces because she was stinking it up so bad on the Dallas Wings. And now her and DiJonai Dirty Mustard Carrington can't scissor by the pool late at night before games anymore. We tried to tell you, NaLyssa Smith, this is the beginning of the...
So this was not on my bingo card because truthfully, I don't really understand this trade. I never would have seen this coming. As a matter of fact, I don't think NaLyssa Smith saw this coming as she posted to Twitter.
All you had to do was work on your game. You could have played with Clark, the face of the league, the most attention you got, and now your career is on the downfall. You about to bounce from team to team and probably soon be out. It's all you care about is your relationship, man. You don't care about balling. As long as it's about DiJonai Carrington, that's all you care about. And this is exactly why you're sick to your stomach getting traded from the bottom.
The way that the WNBA is going, it is going up tempo, it is going fast. We are seeing these young rookies starting to really dominate in this league that is like kind of shifting into a different direction. And NaLyssa Smith is kind of the opposite of that. She has quite like a slow release time. She doesn't run up and down the court quickly. Like she's pretty slow in fast breaks. She doesn't really have much. Sick to my stomach, dog. Never seen this coming, but I love you, Dallas Nation. Thank you for everything.
I know this isn't funny, but it kind of is funny. Bruh, so NaLyssa Smith, we know she was a former Indiana Fever basketball player about a year ago, bruh. Now, I'll be one to tell you, she has now been sent to 2 different teams in a matter of 6.
Today, NaLyssa Smith traded for the 2nd time this year. She'll be hitting her 3rd team in a matter of 365 days. NaLyssa Smith traded from the Dallas Wings to the Las Vegas Aces, and this should come to no surprise. As Kurt Miller said, literally, she was used as a means to get DiJonai Carrington.
And here's the exquisitely painful kicker. The trade separated her from DJ Carrington, the same girlfriend she left Caitlin Clark and the championship contending Indiana Fever to be with. The relationship that was supposedly so important, she was willing to throw away the opportunity of playing alongside a generational talent. Yeah, that got broken up by a 2027 draft pick. DJ's response to the trade? A single, solitary, broken heart emoji. Not even words, just an emoji. That's the kind of deep, meaningful support system NaLyssa Smith chose over being teammates with someone who could have elevated her career to heights she never could have imagined on her own. She picked a girlfriend who communicates in emojis over a teammate who communicates in 30-point triple doubles.
But my goodness, man. NaLyssa Smith. Yo. Man, talk about doing the Dallas a favor, fam. That is crazy work. Can y'all imagine a team with Paige Beckers and Juju on the same team? What in the world? If the Aces turn around and be a terrible team in 2026, woo! Oh man, that's going to be crazy. That is going to be crazy work, man.
But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on your perspective. Just 6 short months after finally getting to play with her girlfriend, just 6 months after thinking she'd finally found her basketball paradise in Dallas, the Wings organization decided they had seen quite enough of the NaLyssa Smith experience. On June 30th, 2025, Smith got the call that every professional athlete dreads. She was being traded, again. This time, to the Las Vegas Aces, and not for another player, not for a package of assets. No, she was traded for a 2027 first-round pick, a pick 3 years in the future. That's the basketball equivalent of being traded for store credit that doesn't expire until the next presidential election. Smith's shocked reaction on social media was priceless. Sick to my stomach, dog. Never seen this coming. Really, NaLyssa? You never saw this coming? You were averaging 6.7 points on a team that had won 1 game all season, and you never saw a trade coming? That's like saying you never saw the ground coming after willingly jumping off a cliff. They got rid of her for a future draft pick, bro. They didn't even get a current player out of the deal.
we knew if we could get if we could get NaLyssa in a trade, that even more could get DiJonai through free agency too. So it all worked out, but a lot of work went into that.
Did you guys hear all of his compliments of NaLyssa Smith? The compliments of her game, the compliments of her finishing ability, her rebounding ability, her mid-range ability, her defensive ability. Did you hear any compliments about her game, or did you hear, man, I knew if we could get NaLyssa in this shit show of a 4-team trade, then our main target in free agency, DiJonai Carrington, is more likely.
Plot twist. The grass wasn't greener in Dallas. It was dead, brown, and apparently infested with fire ants. Smith's Dallas debut was less a triumphant return to form and more of a career obituary, written in real time with every bricked shot and missed defensive rotation. Those 15.5 points per game from her peak in Indiana, cut that down to a measly 6.7 in Dallas. Those impressive 9.2 rebounds that once made her look like a legitimate force in the paint, they shrunk to a paltry 4.9. Her minutes, a pathetic 19.1 per game, a massive drop from the over 30 she played in her rookie year. This woman went from being a key starter on a rising playoff team to being a little-used bench warmer on one of the worst, most dysfunctional teams in the entire league. And the Dallas Wings? Oh, they started the season with a spectacular 1-11 record. 1 win, 11 losses. That's not a basketball team. That's a charity case with matching jerseys. Smith thought she was escaping a situation where she wasn't fully appreciated, but what she really did was jump from a championship contending ship directly onto the Titanic, well after it had already struck the iceberg.
Y'all, look at this. What is going on in Dallas? Dallas just traded NaLyssa Smith over to the Aces. And she tweeted saying she's sick to her stomach over this trade because they blindsided her. She had no idea this was coming, obviously, but she literally went to Dallas to go play with her girlfriend, DiJonai. And now they traded her. What is going on?
The writing was on the wall when Smith started making cryptic, passive-aggressive social media posts about wanting a bigger role, about not understanding how her third year in the league was going, about literally everything except actually stepping up and supporting the generational talent she was lucky enough to be playing beside. She even removed Indiana Fever from her social media bio faster than you can say ungrateful, practically begging for a trade while playing alongside a rookie who was rewriting the league's record books. So, Smith got her wish. She thought she was escaping to something better, a basketball paradise, when the Dallas Wings came calling with the promise of a fresh start and, crucially, a reunion with her girlfriend, DiJonai Carrington. The Wings packaged them together like some kind of WNBA power couple starter pack, and Smith probably thought she'd finally hit the jackpot. At last, she could play with her boo and show everyone what she was really capable of, without the long, looming shadow of Caitlin Clark.
Yes, they got rid of her for a draft pick, bro. They didn't even get a player out of this. I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, this is looking spooky. And it's looking like, allegedly, this could be a locker room situation. A trade like this, quick, fast, on and on. But one thing I can say, a trade like this happening means to tell me there was a reason behind the trade. And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to watch this story like a hawk.
Let's talk about loyalty, or in Smith's case, the glaring and absolute absence of it. While Caitlin Clark was getting physically tackled on the court like it was the NFL Combine, where was NaLyssa Smith? When the referees seemingly went mute as Clark took repeated elbows to the ribs, where was that supposed veteran presence? Nowhere to be found. Instead of standing up for her superstar teammate, instead of speaking out against the blatant targeting, Smith was often seen parked comfortably on the bench, all smiles and small talk with the very players on opposing teams who were throwing cheap shots at the Fever's franchise player. That's not just a failure in leadership, folks. That's a betrayal in sneakers. She didn't just miss the moment to be a good teammate, she ghosted it, and the receipts, the video evidence, are everywhere for everyone to see.
Was traded. No idea. You just wake up one day after having established a life somewhere, and now you have to go somewhere else and play with a new team. Like, this is crazy. And while that's just like the life of a professional athlete, this is how it's been done for years. And I think the same thing every single time. I just can never get over it because like there is pretty much no other job where that is acceptable. like where you can just do that. Granted, I don't work in the corporate world, but I'm assuming in like a corporate job, if they want to relocate you to a different, out of state, they gotta like tell you, right? Like you have to like be okay with that, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, man. And then for NaLyssa Smith to have been playing with DiJonai Carrington, her girlfriend, so now that family's broken up.
Here's where the irony hits truly gourmet levels of deliciousness. NaLyssa Smith strutted around Indiana like she was above it all, above the team, above her role, and clearly above showing any tangible support for the rookie phenomenon who was single-handedly turning the franchise around. Let's look at the numbers, because they don't lie. In 2023, before the full force of the Caitlin Clark era, Smith put up a solid, respectable 15.5 points and 9.2 boards per game. But then, in 2024, sharing the floor with the most electrifying talent in women's hoops, Smith's performance started dropping like a bag of unsold merch after a disastrous losing season. Her game didn't evolve, it completely evaporated. The only thing she seemed to be leading the league in was cold shoulders and missed opportunities. Karma, it seems, has a nasty jump shot, and it's wet. While you'd expect playing alongside a generational passer like Caitlin Clark to elevate everyone's game, Smith's numbers sank to just 10.6 points and 7.1 rebounds per game. She seemed, to many observers, more focused on her relationship with her girlfriend on the rival Connecticut Sun than on the generational greatness unfolding right beside her in her own locker room. While Clark was putting on nightly basketball clinics, Smith often looked like she was just attending summer school, completely disengaged. All you had to do was work on your game. One critic lamented, "You could have played with Clark, the undisputed face of the league, gotten the most attention of your entire career. And now, your career is in a complete and utter downfall. All you seem to care about is your relationship, man, not balling."
It's not as if NaLyssa Smith was contributing in a heavy way toward winning, either there or in their last stop with Indiana, and they get a first-round pick in what is to be a loaded draft in return. From the Aces side of things, it seems like a move to try to remain in contention, but I'm not sure how much it's going to work out because Smith can't shoot the ball, defensively has problems. We'll see if she can thrive next to Asia.
Like, she does not have a consistent cohesion and where she plays and performs really well from night to night. There was an in-game interview with Kurt Miller where he kind of let it slip that getting NaLyssa might have been like a carrot to dangle for acquiring DiJonai Carrington, who he really wanted, who, by the way, also hasn't been really performing really well with the Dallas Wings. And as a matter of fact, since she has been benched and she is out with an injury, the Dallas Wings have actually started winning a bit more.
This wasn't on anyone's bingo card. The news today that NaLyssa Smith has been traded for the second time this year, this time from the Dallas Wings to the Las Vegas Aces, is a stunning development. Smith herself seemed blindsided, posting to social media, "Sick to my stomach, dog. Never seen this coming." Really, NaLyssa? You never saw this coming? Let's recap. While Caitlin Clark was busy rewriting WNBA history, packing arenas to the rafters, and practically dragging the entire league into an unprecedented era of relevance like a one-woman marketing juggernaut, what was NaLyssa Smith allegedly up to? Oh, just getting a little too comfortable on the bench? Reportedly all smiles next to her girlfriend DiJonai Carrington of the Connecticut Sun. You know, the same Carrington who seemed to turn every matchup with Clark into a personal, often physical grudge match. Yeah, that DJ. The one who, during the playoffs, allegedly jabbed Caitlin in the eye and then laughed it off with NaLyssa on the sidelines, like it was some cute, harmless inside joke. That's some real MVP behavior right there. Just, not on the actual court.
Not surprised. She's just not a good basketball player. I think she has potential, but she chooses to play a certain way and it just don't translate. I think the people were right about her, huh? They got rid of her and it was a good decision. She don't play hard. She don't. She plays when she feels like it. When she feels like it, she's pretty good. When she don't feel like it, she really don't feel like it. That's why I don't have much faith in NaLyssa Smith.
Well. Look who's choking on a giant spoonful of karma-flavored reality. NaLyssa Smith, the forward who was apparently convinced she was destined for greener pastures, just found out that sometimes that grass is made of cheap, unforgiving plastic. And now she's metaphorically eating turf. In a delicious twist of fate, the WNBA just witnessed one of the most baffling, self-inflicted career implosions in recent memory. touted as a key veteran presence, poised to help elevate the Indiana Fever, Smith instead turned her stint into a cautionary case study in what happens when ego gets in the way of greatness. She thought she was leveling up by forcing her way out of Indiana. Instead, it seems the universe had other, far more humbling plans. She's not rising. She's tripping over her own attitude in a league that, it turns out, doesn't hand out second chances for diva behavior. Instant karma, as they say, never misses. And NaLyssa Smith just got served a piping hot plate of it.